Good morning, everybody. We'll give it a moment or two, make sure we have everybody joining, and we'll get started. Thanks for joining us today. All right, we'll get started if that works well for everybody. Thank you for joining today. My name is Michael. I'm a senior client advisor with the Arizona Manufacturing Extension Partnership. Appreciate you joining this webinar on ExporTech presented by the Arizona Commerce Authority, specifically with the AZMEP. O'Shea does a great job for us and specifically looks into the ExporTech. He's in charge of that. But the AZMEP has some other services that may be valuable to you as you go through the process of growing and working with Kevin through ExporTech. So if you don't mind just waiting with me for a few minutes, we'll do a short intro on the MEP and then I'll hand it over to Kevin to get started. So AZMEP mission, it's very simple: to make every Arizona manufacturer the most successful business it can be. You can see the picture of the team, relatively small team that covers all of Arizona. We'll kind of go into that a little bit more in just a moment. Like I said, we are a program under the Arizona Commerce Authority, but we're part of a larger nationwide group of these MEPs, manufacturing extension partnerships, across the United States. So we're governed by NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology. So ultimately we answer to them, and our results roll up to them as well. So we're a national network that is dedicated to serving US manufacturers. And like I said, being part of this national network that got started in the late 80s as a lot of manufacturing was being shipped overseas, the federal grant was put in place to put one MEP center in every state to support manufacturing in that state. Some are standalone, some are connected to universities. And of course, us in Arizona, we're connected with the Arizona Commerce Authority. Results for US manufacturers. So these are kind of the results that are rolled up on the nationwide level from the work that the MEP is doing. And you can see almost 106,000 jobs created or retained, 2.7 billion in cost savings, 13 billion in new and retained sales, and almost 5 billion in new client investments. So we're proud of the portion that we get to claim as those and roll up with our other MEP colleagues. The top challenges that the manufacturers let us know about through surveys that NIST sends out to our clients is cost reduction. 65% are looking for help there, 54% in employee recruitment, probably even more so lately. 51% is how to grow, part of what we're talking about today with ExporTech, and 42% is product development. Overall, the Net Promoter Score is simply asking the clients if they would recommend their MEP center. And nationwide, it's 84, which is good. We're proud of Arizona's results into the 90s. You can see some of the reasons why clients would use the MEPs. We kind of have this split into two areas. One of them is operational excellence. So we do a lot of work around continuous improvement and lean manufacturing. I mentioned staffing before, keeping us very busy with that these days. Quality certifications, safety inspections and certification, MRP and ERP, inventory optimization, automation, workforce development, training, quite a few things that we can help with there. And then on the business excellence side, R&D tax credit is a great way to find some money. Utility tax exemptions, very interesting, and we typically help a lot of our new clients with that. Most people don't seem to know, but in Arizona, manufacturers should not be paying county and state tax on their utility bills, provided those utilities are used towards the manufacturing process. So we of course see this a lot with electrical utilities. It does apply with gas, both natural gas and liquid propane. We have a project that we can help with in the MEP to go through, work with the client and the utility company and not only get exemptions from those taxes moving forward. If you have been paying them, we can actually go back as much as 4 years and recoup a refund on those previous taxes paid. So clearly that can add up to quite a bit of money, and tens of thousands of dollars isn't uncommon. And we see some 6-figure refunds sometimes too. So great way to find some things there. HR support, strategy development, organizational excellence, ExporTech we're talking about today, sales training, IT support, marketing, really the gamut of what the client may be facing that we'd be able to help with. And you saw that we had a relatively small team. We actually have a very large group of subject matter experts that we vetted out and interviewed that we can bring in that specializes in 1 or 2 of each of these services that can provide that for us. So it really works out well, and we're proud of our partners that we're connected with to help us achieve this mission. So that's us. Please stay connected with us. There's our website and a phone number. Any of the manufacturers out there probably have a senior client advisor attached to you. But if you don't know who that is, you need help, please feel free to give us a call, and we can get you connected and get help in your direction. So with that, I'll turn over to my colleague, Kevin, who does very well with export, and we'll get started with that. Kevin, I'll stop sharing and let you share your screen if that works.
Great. Let me see if I can do that for us here. Mike, do you have me both on audio, and then also can you see the PowerPoint I've got?
Can hear you fine, and it did show that you're sharing, and we just got it up. So yeah, we can see it. It's just not in slideshow mode right now.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to speak today. The MEP team, which I'm a member of, I'm also the Senior VP for International Trade at ACA. The MEP team has asked me to talk with Arizona manufacturers today in this webinar about export assistance programming that I deliver to Arizona manufacturers. And including one of those programs is the ExporTech program. But I want to walk you through what we do for manufacturers on the export side. I'll walk through what I'll call 3 programs. One is trade assistance by our international trade offices and trade teams, ExporTech. And then a third program, which is the Arizona State Trade Expansion Program, which is a program that also assists Arizona small businesses who are manufacturers as well. A few considerations for Arizona companies that are looking to export. I work with companies that are all along the export continuum. These could be companies that have never exported before. Maybe they've exported, but it's only been on a reactive basis. Someone has found them on their website and placed an order. Some companies I work with are strategic, proactive exporters, maybe in one export market. For example, maybe they're exporting to Mexico or to Canada, but that may be it. Maybe they're exporting to part of Mexico and want to expand their reach throughout Mexico. So these programs work for companies all along the export continuum. When I work with companies, I tend to try to help them identify low-hanging fruit export markets. The easier markets to get into, the markets with less regulatory barriers, less legal barriers, and overall less risk. We also work closely with a few federal counterparts, the U.S. Department of Commerce, the U.S. Export-Import Bank, and the U.S. Small Business Administration. Exim Bank is a great resource for Arizona manufacturers who are concerned about getting paid by their foreign buyer. Ex-Im Bank has an excellent export credit insurance product that is highly affordable and really reduces the risk for Arizona manufacturers who may not know very well their foreign buyer, or they may want to offer them terms, and that export credit insurance product can be a vehicle for that. So let me take you through the trade programs I've got to help Arizona manufacturers. I'm going to call the first program our trade offices in Mexico. We have 3 trade offices in Mexico, which means we have 3 trade teams there. They're based in Mexico City, Chihuahua, and Guanajuato. Chihuahua is a major aerospace and advanced manufacturing state. Guanajuato is right in the center of the Bajío region in Mexico, which is the hub for automotive manufacturing. There is also some significant aerospace manufacturing going on in the Bajío region. Mexico City, obviously the capital, the largest city in Mexico. Those 3 teams and those 3 offices provide coverage for Arizona companies throughout the entirety of Mexico. What they'll do for an Arizona manufacturer, they'll conduct market research for your company. Is my product, is there a demand for my product? Am I viable in the marketplace? Am I price competitive? Who is my competition? Our teams will be able to conduct that research for you and provide you input and feedback. They'll also help you find sales channel partners. Most Arizona companies that I work with are not selling direct to end users in international markets. They're using sales channel partners, primarily distributors. Our teams will help your manufacturing company identify qualified, interested, sector-connected distributors that aren't representing your competitors. They don't select them for you. They provide you with a list and some information about those potential distributors, and then they help you connect with them so that you can then select the best one for you. They'll also do B2B and B2G in-country matchmaking for you. And we do this particularly in the context of trade missions, trade expos in Mexico. We will bring groups of Arizona companies in various industry sectors into Mexico for trade events. We have done a number of these, several of these in the aerospace and defense sector, in the healthcare technology sector, mining equipment and technology, just to name a few. We do at least a half a dozen of those every year. As you can see, these are some of the industry sectors that we've focused on heavily in the Mexico market: aerospace, defense, security, mining, automotive, increasingly, medical technology, advanced manufacturing, ag tech, water tech. To utilize our teams in Mexico, companies reach out to me. I send them a simple 2-page request for assistance form. And then I share that with our teams in Mexico. We select one of the 3 teams to take the lead on your file. And then we go from there. All of these services that I've listed, the market research, the sales channel partner identification, the B2B matchmaking, those services are free of charge. They're exclusively for Arizona companies, including Arizona manufacturers. A second program that we have is our trade office in Tel Aviv, Israel. That office performs the same types of services for Arizona manufacturers as our 3 offices in Mexico. You'll see the highlighted industry sectors that we've been most engaged with. Some are similar to that of Mexico. We will soon have a fifth trade office that will be a Europe office that will be based in Germany, and that will enable us to help Arizona manufacturers export into the EU particularly. I'll be keeping you all posted as we roll that out. The second program is our ExporTech program. And this is a program that we deliver directly under our MEP program that I explained to you. So this program manufacturers are given preferential registration treatment on this program, since it does dwell within the Manufacturing Extension Partnership Program constellation. Essentially, this is a 60-day export boot camp. Cohort of typically 7 to 12 companies. I think we've had 7 to 8 on average in a cohort. We run 2 of these per year. No competitors within a cohort. Simplistically, over the 60 days approximate, there's companies are in class for 2/3 of the day on day 1. They're in class for 2/3 of the day on day 30, and then they graduate on day 60. The first 2 class sessions are export education delivered by Arizona-based export experts, I'll call them. And these are folks from the legal community, banking, logistics. We bring Exim Bank to talk about export credit insurance and some of their export finance programs. Same with SBA to talk about some of their export finance programs. We partner with Commercial Service, who delivers a suite of export assistance services for Arizona companies, including manufacturers. Each company is assigned an export coach during the 60-day period. That export coach works with you and works with your schedule as well, because we're sensitive to how busy you all are. That coach works with you to essentially to develop your own strategic intentional export plan based upon your particular product that you manufacture. It identifies target markets, target export markets for you, that strategic plan, markets that you're going to be going after on day 61 in the near and midterm. You present that plan on day 60 of the program. It's not a competition. It's not a pitch competition. It's a presentation to your fellow cohort members and to a panel of export experts that give you constructive feedback on your strategic plan. We stick with you after day 60, meaning we help you execute on that plan. How do we help you execute on that plan? For those of you that are targeting Mexico as a market, or Israel as a market, or perhaps Europe as a market, our trade offices and trade teams can be of assistance to you. For those of you who are also small businesses, I will cover the STEP program. That is a program that helps ExporTech grads, that among other things helps ExporTech grads undertake go-to-market export initiatives and provide some financial assistance for you to do that. We've run 13 ExporTech cohorts over the last 5 years and graduated approximately 90 Arizona manufacturers from that program. The next ExporTech cohort will likely launch in late summer, and I will keep you all posted on that. You should all feel free to reach out to me also by email. I'm kevino@azcommerce.com. Our third program for Arizona companies is the Arizona STEP program. Now, this program would be for manufacturers and service companies, but today we're speaking to manufacturing companies, I'm aware. A few requirements for this program that do not exist for our trade office programs and the ExporTech. You obviously in all the programs you must be an Arizona company, but in this particular program you must be a small business as defined by the USSBA. USSBA is our federal partner on this program. SBA is the primary funder of this program, and then the ACA, in the case of Arizona, provides a matching fund amount for this program. So it's a federal state partnership to execute on this export program. The company must be in business already for at least a year, so it's not a startup program. If the company sells a product, that product must be at least 51% USA content. Again, that's a federal requirement for this program. And then a somewhat vague requirement: company must have access to sufficient resources to bear the cost of trade. Essentially, a company needs to have the staffing and the financial resources to conduct international trade. There's no enrollment fee in our program. Our program is somewhat different than programs in other U.S. states. We do not treat our program as a competition, and our enrollment is not rolled out and closed in a very short window. Rather, I call it an open enrollment program. It's on a rolling admission basis. As long as we have the program, as long as we have funding in the program, I will accept companies into the program at any point. So you're not penalized if this is the first time you've heard from STEP. We do have a program that expires this September, and then we have another program that's ongoing that runs through September of 2022. So there's plenty of time for you to enroll in the program. What does the program do for you concretely? And we can talk about this also in the context of ExporTech. If you're a graduate of ExporTech, for instance, you'd be able to avail yourself of these sorts of benefits. When I bring companies, for instance, to the Singapore Air Show, and these would be Arizona small businesses in the aerospace and defense sector, I will buy with STEP funds a collective Arizona pavilion and then populate that space with Arizona STEP companies. Our federal funds for the STEP program pay for the booth, pay for the furnishings, pay for the company registrations, and we're able to reimburse companies for 50% of their airfare and 50% of their hotel costs. There are certain U.S. government restrictions and limitations on that, but that gives you a good sense of just how powerful that is in terms of making a trade expo, an international trade expo, very affordable and very accessible for a small business, an Arizona small business. The international trade expos that we do under STEP, most of them are outside the US, but there are international trade expos obviously within the US. So an international trade show, to qualify, is a show that has a significant international participation, such that a company attending would be pursuing export opportunities. So the shows that qualify for our program are shows where we lead a delegation. We have done STEP trade expos and trade shows in a wide variety of industry sectors: aerospace and defense, healthcare technology, mining technology, and software, advanced manufacturing, photonics and optics, just to name a few. So we have a fairly broad reach in our industry sectors that we work with under this program. Sometimes we'll take groups of companies into market, what I call B2B, B2G trade missions. So in this case, we're not going to a show or an expo, but rather we're bringing maybe a half a dozen companies, sometimes from a single sector, sometimes from a variety of industry sectors, into market. Each company that's with us has their own pre-vetted, pre-arranged schedule of meetings. You're meeting with companies or end users and buyers that you want to meet with, or sales channel partners, and they want to meet with you. There's no cold calling once we get to the ground. You're not all going to the same factory to see how a factory is run in that country. You're actually meeting with people that you want to meet to advance your opportunities to sell into those markets. We also help companies in our Arizona STEP program utilize the export assistance services, which are fee-based and delivered by the U.S. Commercial Service. So companies that are in our STEP program will reimburse them for 75% of the fee to utilize U.S. Commercial Service fee-based services. We also have a good number of our companies in our STEP program that utilize the assistance to help them translate some of their website content and collateral materials, obviously into a non-English language. Companies attend export compliance training, particularly companies in the aerospace, military, defense industries. And then, as you see, a few more items there: product compliance testing, CE mark certification, for example. Without a doubt, the most impactful items within our STEP program, and I think this is a fair thing to say for the STEP programs across the country, have been those components of programs that entail bringing companies actually into foreign markets. Companies have been missing that live interaction over the last 16 months. During the COVID period, there's been a proliferation of virtual trade expos and trade events. Frankly, some not terribly well executed. So we have a lot of companies, a lot of manufacturers that are ready to travel once again, and they really want to take advantage of this program to help them get into another market, actually physically, and meet with partners, meet with buyers. And we'll do that through our trade missions primarily, and also through our trade expos and trade shows. So that covers our programs that we offer Arizona manufacturers. There is my contact info. Please do feel free to reach out to me by email or also by phone. That's my cellular. I really work out of the Phoenix area, the Tucson area. I like to tell people that my residence is the I-10 and the I-17. I'm agnostic to where a company is located in Arizona. We work with companies all over the state, metro, rural, small towns, small communities. So regardless of where you're from, my mandate is to deliver this program and all of these programs to companies throughout the state. Mike, do we want to open it up for companies to ask any questions they might have?
Yeah, I neglected that earlier. I've been keeping an eye on chat. If anybody has any questions, please put them in chat and we can address those. Thank you, Kevin, for putting your contact information up. I was going to suggest that, but I think we're good. But yeah, I'll keep an eye open, see if we have something that pops up here. But great presentation, definitely a lot of value for those clients that are looking for that type of help. And I'm not seeing anything pop up, so we may be in a position to get some people back some time in their day.
Boy, that'd be great.
Awesome. I think we're good. I don't see anything coming up, so appreciate everybody joining today. Again, please reach out to Kevin if you have interest or questions on anything specific that he covered. And feel free to reach out to the MEP or myself specifically, and we can get you connected or help you where you need some assistance. So with that, Kevin, unless you have anything else.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Good. All right. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.